appreciate everybody being here. It grieves me to say that looking around this room, I'm the oldest person here. And that's pretty depressing. Jason Murray, the current Post sports editor, should know that Tom is the 6th Washington Post recipient of the Red Smith Award. And that would include Shirley Povich, the late Shirley Povich, Dan Jenkins, Sandy Bailey Rosenbush, Christine Brennan, and myself. And I quite frankly don't know how I made it, simply because I ran for office of this organization 10 times and never won once. A perfect record, one would say. However, I'm not finished nominating Washington Post Red Smith possibilities, even though Dan Shaughnessy seems to have a lock for next year. But let's not forget a nomination for Wilbon, John Ed Bradley, William Gilday, David Aldrich, David Remnick, and Jane Levy. And if Levy ever wins, she'll speak longer than Fidel Castro. Now get serious for a moment. Spending 24 hours here listening to many of your colleagues about the fate and the current state of the business is quite frankly depressing. And you know, I taught at the University of Maryland and started the Shirley Povich Center for Sports Journalism, and with the greatest of anticipation and the greatest, we had great students, some of whom are here today. And the business is shrinking, but it's vital. And do not let a publisher, do not let an owner of a newspaper or a chain change the way you think. And know this for a fact, you're keeping newspapers, news sites alive. That was very serious. Trying to get Tom Boswell the Red Smith Award for the past 5 years is like trying to get Rembrandt a spot in the Washington Art Fair. I'm sure if Jason or someone else had tried, Bos would have been here 3 or 4 years ago. But there's some leftover animosity. It took years for Boswell to get this. In 1969, he joined the Washington Post as a news aide, which is a very nice way of saying a copy boy, the lowest spot on the rung at the Washington Post. And for 4 years, he got coffee for cranky copy editors, covered high school sports when given the opportunity. And finally, in 1974, my predecessor, Donald Graham, who went on to bigger things than I ever did, promoted Tom to a staff writer on the sports page. In 1975, even though Washington had no baseball team, I promoted Tom to baseball writer, even there was no baseball. And but Tom would do a national look at what, you know, what baseball meant to America. And his first World Series was 1975, the famous Carlton Fisk home run. And that afternoon, Tom, in all his wisdom, spilled coffee on his Olivetti typewriter, and making it unusable, to which he complained to me over the phone. And I said, Tom, go buy a new Olivetti. It was $85. And he said, okay. And the woman who ran the Washington Post financial requirements said, you can't do that. He had to have authorization for the Olivetti typewriter. So to this day, I still owe the Washington Post $85 for that typewriter. That said, Tom covered every single World Series until his retirement from the Post in 2021. We made him a columnist in 1984 when David Kindred went to Atlanta, and he joined Tony Kornheiser as our columnist. He's also been honored this year from the Baseball Writers Association of America, and will be so honored in Cooperstown in August. It's a career Tom has had that duplicates his writing with the great Red Smith, Shirley Povich, Roger Angell, and the Boys of Summer author Roger Kahn. He's covered all sports for the Post, and he still comes out of retirement on occasion, if Jason Murray allows, to write a column. And Wendy, his wife, and his son Russell are here. They all deserve a round of applause. Because I personally made their life miserable. But as he told Ken Burns in this documentary on baseball, words matter, thinking matters, pick your spots, and leave a legacy. And with that, what greater way to introduce this year's winner of the Red Smith Award, Thomas Boswell.